So I came across this thread where the person was talking about they were in a childhood where the parents should have divorced and they didn't, and they were saying how just because the parents are together doesn't mean it's a loving home or a nurturing environment for that child, right? And I thought this was very relatable because when I look back on my childhood, I don't think of it as a happy home. And it's sad to say, especially if my parents were to see this, you know, it wouldn't be nice and stuff. So I'm, you know, it's quite a vulnerable video, but it's just a reality, unfortunately. Now, when I was younger, like real young, I think it was but maybe I was just oblivious to the fact that my parents were arguing or whatever. I was just kind of like in my own fantasy world kind of thing. But as I got older and older, there were some nice moments, don't get me wrong, there's always nice moments, but the underlying theme was arguments that we always heard. We would get beats, and beats isn't the main thing, but it's the way the beats are done. And to be honest, like in a weird kind of way, I think it's okay to be beaten. Like when I say beaten, I don't mean like to an inch of your life. I mean just like discipline, like don't do that, smack on the bum or smack on the hand or whatever. But the way it was done, at least in my house, was you get beat and then you just kind of left to figure out why you got beat and be by yourself afterwards. Whereas if I'm just like thinking, you know, if I could, you know, not relive the situation, but like let's just say I was in that situation again and my parents were to then beat me or smack me on the hand or like do whatever they did to discipline me, like beating wise, and then right after that they were to look me in the eye, explain to me in a loving voice, not shouting, perhaps like what I've done, how I've done it, and why it's wrong and why I shouldn't do it again, and then for them to explain that to me in a calm way as a rational adult, to explain something, and then after that perhaps given a hug and told that I was still loved and I'm appreciated, etc., and then, you know, reminded not to do that again because we don't want to have, you know, we don't want to speak to you like this, etc., spoken to with some respect, for example, right? I feel like if that was the case, if that did happen, I would be, or any child will be better off having it done that way rather than just being beaten, not knowing exactly why, you know, being fearful of your parents, being scared of your parents, of the people who are protecting you, of the you know, when you're young, it's your best friend and stuff like that, right? But unfortunately it just wasn't that way. My dad would, like, I have very young memories of him like being nice, and I would like sit on his lap and he'd read me a book and stuff like that in front on the sofa and stuff, and so that was cool. And of course my mum like has obviously been like the more softer person just naturally, and like obviously she cares and all that stuff, right? But when I'm just talking about my childhood time, right, yeah, the abuse was there, the physical abuse was there. Like you just got beat. Sometimes you didn't even do nothing, you got beat. And unfortunately, it is what it is. These are just my memories, you know, and I can't change it. I wish it was different. I wish I didn't have these, you know, thoughts about my own parents. But unfortunately, it just is what it is. Maybe the knowledge, like now that I'm older, I've got some like compassion and empathy for it. So like maybe the knowledge at the time wasn't there. Everyone else was doing the same thing, so that's why they did the same thing to me, etc. You know, and yeah, I feel like the right way to go about it is, if that does happen, you just need to remind your kid that you love them at the end of the day. Like verbally express that, because when I was younger, probably in a lot of ethnic households, probably a lot of households in general, you don't say the words "I love you," you just like presume that, right? But if that word never comes, or if that phrase never comes, yeah, you know it deep down, but it's just nice to hear sometimes, to be reminded to feel that love in the moment, right? But if it never comes, it's just like, my parents don't like me, I'm an annoyance to them, I'm an inconvenience to them, etc., right? Unfortunately, you start to feel that way. And this is the trauma that we have to, as adults, unpack and like go over alone, or with therapy, or with talking with friends, etc., or me talking to this YouTube video. So like, it's just interesting. I wish like you can't change the past, but I feel like if that was different, like I don't remember my dad ever saying he loves me, even to this day, or that he's proud of me, etc. However, I just imagine if he did, he said I love you, or I'm very proud of you, he gave me a hug. But even now, if he gave me a hug, like a genuine hug, and took the initiative on that, the amount of like love I would feel would like almost unburden me from the past traumas that I have experienced. Like, imagine like you're in a situation and then your dad just hugs you, and there's like, maybe he apologizes, maybe he doesn't, but like, I know I've never said this before, but I just want to say I really love you, I'm really proud of you. I love the man or the person you're becoming, and yeah, it's just fantastic to see you grow into a young, capable man. Imagine your dad said that to you, and you're in a situation like me where you never experienced that type of affection from your parents. How life-changing would that be? Like, a lot of parents don't know how a small gesture like that would impact their precious child. And it's something that, now that I am a dad, it's something that I am understanding and adopting for my life, because I see my little boy, right, and this kid is just fucking perfect in every facet imaginable, and you probably will feel the same way about your kid. And since he was born, and he's now like 11 months old, I've probably kissed this boy 100,000 times. Just like playing with him, tickling him, making him laugh, kissing him, hugging him, etc. Just like that fun stuff, right? And 100,000 times, and that is literally no exaggeration. Like, and if I just carry that through for the rest of his life until I cannot anymore, obviously I'm not going to be like, when I'm 90, kissing a 6-year-old like on the cheek that many times. I'll probably see him, I'll give him a hug, give him a kiss on the cheek, and then have a beer together, have a whiskey together, or whatever, right? That's probably what happened later in life. But now I can do that like when he's young and stuff. But if I just kept that up, kept the nurturing up, kept the I love yous up, kept the I'm proud of yous up, kept the you're the great, you're a great kid, etc., puts him in a position of having self-esteem, give him mental models and concepts to live his life by, to share with him that yes, I might have been in this situation before and this is what I did, and perhaps you could do this yourself, and if not, then learn the lesson. Maybe tell me the lesson, because I'd like to learn too. Keep that two ways of communication open, so that my son feels like dad listens and dad wants to learn from me just as much as I can learn from him, and dad respects me, and that's why I respect him. Because when you're a kid, a lot of the time you're seen as like lesser by a lot of people. A lot of people be like, oh, they're a kid, they don't know anything, I'm the adult, I'm the parent, they need to listen to me, I don't need to listen to them. But your kids can come up with some insightful shit, man. Like, imagine having that kind of relationship with your dad, and then imagine the type of person you would have become by having that relationship with your dad when you were younger. that super, super loving, warm, welcoming household. If that happened to them, if they had that respectful, loving, nurturing, proud relationship together, then they would be probably further ahead in a lot of different areas of their entire life. They wouldn't have the trauma that would have come with, hearing their parents argue, or like, when you are going through it as a child, and then you decide to take it out on your wife when you become, or your girlfriend, or when you become, of adult age and stuff. So there's all these little things that we can do as men watching this video right here, so that when we have our kids, when we are in a situation where we have brought another life into the world, we can remember how it was for us and change that, and not repeat the same cycle of like potentially trauma that you end up growing up with and having issues with later in your adulthood. And one of the best ways to do that is learn about human psychology, learn about yourself, read books and stuff like that on the matter, and it will unlock different parts of your brain, different concepts that will help you get ahead in life and get ahead with your interpersonal relationships with your other people, as well as like your own kids. And you can watch a lot of my content for that. There's loads of other people on YouTube for that, but books are great as well. Books, podcasts and YouTube videos like that are about that specific topic and stuff, right? So just a little note for the dads out there, or the potential dads. Maybe you want to be a dad one day and you're not there yet, or you have a kid already. Maybe a quick reminder to you that your kid is very impressionable at this age, and you have to be very conscious about how you're influencing them. So like, I'll be real, like the other day I was shouting at my wife well, we were shouting at each other, and my kid, he was just looking at us, and he's like 11 months old, coming up to 11 months old, he's looking at us like super intently, like looking around like left to right, like a little tennis match going on in his head. And then I looked at him, and then obviously, like, as soon as you see an innocent child, all of your annoyance in that moment is stripped away, and you're just like, what are you looking at? Hey Bubba, is everything okay? What are you up to? That kind of thing, right? And then so you have that kind of change of demeanor, and then it's just like, I look at him, it's like, oh shit, what have I done? Like, he shouldn't be seeing this shit. I need to be like better for him, so that he doesn't keep repeating this cycle when he is an adult, and just like living in this traumatic phase of life that continues to perpetuate throughout the entire of my legacy, because me, I'm not able to control my emotions, etc. I'm not able to like be in control. I've lost control. So there you go, a message for all the dads out there, as well as me, that I can rewatch this kind of video, this video, and just remind myself that you're doing this for the greater cause, which is your legacy, because they are watching you. And if they're not watching you right now, if you haven't got them right now, then eventually you will, and they will be watching you. And it's about how you act in every moment that will determine how they respond to their adult life. So, ladies and gentlemen, parking up now. Hope I don't know what I'm going to title and thumbnail this video. Sometimes when inspiration strikes, you just got to record. So, that being said, I'm going to leave it there. Remember, make yourself proud, make your ancestors and your legacy proud, and I'll see you in the next video.